we're here at the Newport Beach Public Library, and they have a very awesome artistic display here, both outside and inside. Outside, all having all these modern and contemporary works, specifically, the bunnies. Very, very interesting choice of art there, but both inside with their displays in the lobby. And Dr. Ginsberg and I here were going through some artists, and we stumbled upon one that really caught our eye.
And so we found this artist, Arthur Brzinch, who's actually a Latvian national, Latvia being one of the only countries from the former Soviet Union that actually technologically developed from a certain perspective, I guess you could say comparatively. It developed, but
Interesting picture choice there, dude.
Absolutely, thank you, Dr. Farhat. So we can also see that this work is actually known by Arthur Brzinch as Siesta, but as it is more commonly known, Dr. Farhat.
It has a more informal name here, also known as Cherubs Blowing Fart Bubbles.
Absolutely stellar name, Dr. Farhat.
At first, when looking at this work, we found it to be funny. We don't take it seriously, and if I had seen this a year ago, I wouldn't have taken this work seriously. I would have thought it was a satire, maybe a post made by just some guy on the internet who was just bored with his time. But because we went through this course, and I understand the innovations, the traditions on FCCF, I have a much deeper appreciation and understanding of what's actually happening in this image. So, Dr. Ginsberg, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you look at this work?
The first thing that I really truly see in this work is the overall picture of the reclining nude, which harkens back to the idea of works such as La Grande Odalisque by Ingres. Dr. Farhat, would you like to elaborate?
So, if I remember correctly, Ingres here was really mixing the cultures of East and the West here. So we see the reclining nude that became popularized during the High Renaissance by Titian, which we'll talk about a bit later, and she's in a very seductive, a very sensual pose.
Absolutely.
Inviting us
the elongated spine.
Exactly. And she has a very thin, we see a little hookah in the pipe in the corner, we see the peacock feather duster, we see, a lot of skin showing, but just enough to bring the person looking at it in, but just enough. She's giving you that look saying, yes, you can look at me, but you aren't invited inside.
And that's one of the ideas that this work was overall one of the most admired in all of France. Moving forward to Titian.
And we're back. We apologize for that interruption from before. We just got a little bit too into the work. So, again, going off of Le Grand Odalisque, we see this woman who's, she's in this personal space. You see the drapery in the background, but she's alone. She's laying on these comforters and these sheets. It looks like a seemingly comfortable bed, if you ask me. I wouldn't mind laying down on that bed myself if I had the opportunity to.
Absolutely. The drapery it's extremely inviting, and I think we see similar drapery in works such as the classic by art history, the Venus of Urbino.
Oh, yes, the first reclining nude in history. Titian really popularized this style by having this strange, this woman laying down, fully nude. And, we look at her and we're sort of thinking, well, what is she doing here? Why is she letting us look at her like this? That should be left for only a certain, pair of eyes, not for us.
Exactly, and we can see multiple different symbols throughout the picture, such as the plant, the dog, and the chest, that all relate back to this idea of marriage, which we can see in other works. And so different symbolism within the picture absolutely inspires the viewer to take a more deeper perspective through the art.
Exactly, and he brings in this attitude of, again, personal, sensual, very calm. And I really like this one, and I really like to contrast it to Siesta, Cherries Blowing Fart Bubbles, because of the softness, the colors. It almost seems like you could reach into both of these paintings and sort of stroke the skin. It just seems so light, so soft, so delicate.
But one of the other main aspects of the picture that I think we should discuss is the idea of the cherubs throughout the picture,
yes.
which is another common theme we see throughout art, such as the classic Jahangir preferring a Sufi sheikh to kings.
Now, why were these cherubs even put into art into the first place?
We don't really know with regard to why this European influence is put into this Mughal and Islamic art, but we can just say that that shows specifically the extent of European cultural expansion and and the beginnings of European cultural imperialism within India.
And if we also look, another prime example of where we see cherub sort of angels is in Franz Filippo Lippi's Madonna and Child with Two Angels. And here, unlike the Jahangir work, we see the cherubs actually being part of the focal point of the work. They're there. They're kind of creeping in on us.
A
They're
little bit of
giving
a mysterious and
Yes.
almost mischievous.
Exactly. Clever. Sly,
You can see that back in Siesta.
Yes, yeah. In Siesta, we see all these cherubs, and they're doing something kind of strange to the figure in the painting. They're having a bit of fun with her. I mean, after all, she is taking a siesta. She's taking a nap. She's relaxing in her own personal space. But these cherubs have come in and intruded on her.
Yes, it's such a peaceful scene. You have the influence of the Renaissance with the Arcadian landscape in the background and the atmospheric perspective, but then you also have the romantic aspects with the beautiful drapery and the idea of these cherubs in the first place, which we can see in some romantic art.
Exactly, and we even see parts of mathematical proportions. If you look in the arch of her back, it looks like a parabola, almost like a y equals x squared parabola. Possibly Brzezinski wanted to show us something about harmony and symmetry as the x squared graph does. But overall, when we look at the work, we can really see how it draws upon older artistic styles and traditions. We see the drapery in the background. We see the carpets that obviously came from Eastern, possibly Persian. I know the Persians make very, very good rugs and carpets. I actually own a few myself at my home.
How interesting, Dr. Farhat. Well, I think we can also see the influence of the drapery and also these intricate designs which you mentioned. So where is this person even located? Are they in Spain? Is this Moorish Spain showing this Islamic, almost Arabesque influences? These are questions that will be unanswered for possibly history.
Exactly.
But it is art's perspective, and it is our perspective as viewers to formulate our own distinctive ideas regarding this extremely intricate piece of art. And that is what makes art personally beautiful.
So when we look at this work, when we look in summary, what do we take away from it? We take away the fact that Brzezinski in 2012, a very modern work, looked back at many artistic styles and mixed as many as he could. He took the styles of the Renaissance. He took styles of Romanticism. He took, idealism, that softness, the contrasting colors, light and dark, and fun and humor, but seriousness and professionalism, and he just mixes them all together. And that's what makes this work, Cherubs Blowing Fart Bubbles, such a pleasure to look at and enjoy.
Absolutely, Dr. Farhat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ginsberg. It was a true pleasure looking at this work with you.